Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and this is Lay Spirit Designs back in Seattle, Washington for Sakura Con. So if you watched my vlog from last year's Sakura Con, you will know that the Cheesecake Factory fire was a huge deal on Saturday of the show. But that was not enough to keep us away this year. We were pulled off the wait list for Sakura Con in early March. And if you're not aware, this is Easter weekend 2026. It's April 3rd through the 5th. I'll put the dates up on the screen. Anyway, we are back and it was quite a journey to get here. And I don't know what the state of my vlogs are at the moment because I'm really backlogged. And I'm pretty sure I will have touched on some of this in the previous vlog, and if not, you may have seen them on my Instagram stories, or I will probably be talking more about this in the next vlog. So definitely subscribe and keep an eye out on all of that so you know what's going on. But it was such a thing to get here because between buying the house that we've been renting, redoing the floors within a week, all of getting sick with an eye ulcer, and then ultimately having to have her eye removed literally days before this con happened. I was not sleeping, I was exhausted physically and mentally and emotionally, and every way a person could be exhausted. So I was really having a hard time day zero yesterday coming and setting up, but I did it. I got lots of sleep and I'm human again and I am ready to take on the day. So let's see how the con goes. So it is just about 3 o'clock. We are a little more than halfway done with Friday. And for a Friday, it's been really busy. However, sales, at least for me, have been a little slower. I don't know that I'm gonna make the same amount that I made last year on Friday, which seems to be just the general vibe for conventions lately, at least for me. So we'll see though, they're still halfway through the day. It ends at 7 today, so we will see how the rest of the day goes. But if you've been by and supported me or brought me snacks of any kind, thank you so much. It has really been just a rough time and I'm doing my best by myself and just trying to keep a positive attitude and keep myself hydrated and energized. All right, it is 6:55. There's 5 minutes left for the day, and I am so tired again. I guess 12 hours wasn't enough. I don't remember if I said that earlier. I've just been like kind of slowly getting more exhausted as the day goes on, so hopefully I can get more sleep again tonight. But I'm gonna go get some dinner and see you guys for day 2. Good morning for day 2 of Sakura Con. There are a lot of people lined up out there and it is about 15 minutes into the show, so we're gonna see how day 2 goes. So one thing I haven't really talked about, these are the last 2 boys I have in backstock right now. The other 3 are out front. So I have 5 periwinkle plushes in total. left until they're done. And usually I would restock them, but I know that tariffs on plushes are really high right now, and I also can't really justify the cost just paying out of pocket to restock them. So I don't know what to do. God, the lighting is bad right here. I don't know what to do. So if you guys are interested in getting one still, let me know if you're interested in pre-orders, or there's other plushes I'm thinking about doing later this year, maybe on Kickstarter, so I might incorporate like a restock into that. But let me know in the comments what you think, because I love having boys at my table. People love them, and I anticipate selling out at this con, so let me know what you think.
A mystery enamel pin.
Yes, we
and
are.
I don't know which one it is because everything's truly a mystery. That is, I don't have my black light.
Ooh.
That's one of my favorite pins. The light glows in the dark so you can see the ghost.
It's so cool.
It's one of my favorites, and I've been sold out of it for like a year.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
So this is like a rare find.
It is a rare find. Yay. Thank you for stopping by, you guys.
Brutal. Yeah. I know, like in the middle of the day, especially on Saturday, it's bad. There we go. Hey, okay. I just had to believe.
Are you a small business floundering on Etsy with no clue how to increase your sales? Then you'll love to learn about our sponsor this week, EverBee. EverBee is a browser extension for Etsy with incredible tools and resources for small businesses to get the most out of their Etsy listings. And that tool belt continues to grow. Now when you're researching listings and keywords on Etsy, you can toggle the badge filters. This allows you to filter your search results based on bestsellers, popular now, and what listings have free shipping. There's even a toggle to remove ads, so you don't get bogged down by sponsored results, just pure organic insights. This is invaluable to anyone looking for ideas on what is selling within their niche and product range.
EverBee can be used completely for free, but if you join the growth plan, you will get access to the daily trends and so many more amazing features. And if you would like to join, you can check out the link in the description box below. It is an affiliate link, so you don't have to use it, but if you do use it, it gives me a little bit back so I can keep doing the things that I do. Thank you so much to EverBee for continuing to be an incredible sponsor of this channel and helping Etsy sellers make the most of their shops. Now, let's get back to the video. So it is just about 4:30. I had meant to check in like hours ago, but it has been so busy today. I'm so pleased. I was going through it a little bit yesterday, and I think some of that was like PMS just being in my head, but sales are incredible today. So thank you to everybody who has stopped by and supported me. A lot of you guys who watch the channel came by and say you watched my videos, so it was really great to meet you guys. And yeah, I'm so glad, and I have one periwinkle left, one boy, and I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with him, because I can't justify spending the money to have him produced knowing that I only sell a handful at each convention. So let me know what you guys think about that. I think I had already said that. But we're selling out of sticker books, and potions are popping off. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm great.
So let's keep rolling. Good morning for day 3. It is the last day of Sakura Con, and they are about to let attendees in about like 4 minutes or something like that. So real quick, let me show you the state of the booth, because I didn't even get to like sign off yesterday. I was in a rush to meet my cousin for dinner. So let's see how the booth has been doing. So we are sold out of 2 sticker book designs. Everything that I have here, I only have a couple left. We've sold quite a few of the $5 mystery B-grade pins. Maybe 1 or 2 of these. These haven't been very popular this year, which is fine. I don't mind keeping the stock. I just refreshed the washi tape. It was pretty picked over yesterday. Potions we sold quite a few of yesterday. The blind bags have been doing okay, but they're a nice conversation piece to lead into this if people aren't fixated on the potions. So most people choose to build their own, which I understand because that's like the whole point. But these ones have also been pretty popular, and I didn't talk about this. This is what I did to be able to bring these instead of bringing the entire gumball machine because I couldn't fly with that or ship it. It was too heavy. So I just put them into blind bags. And I'll probably just keep those for maybe online sales or my other cons that I'm flying to. Stickers are doing well, always. We have, I think I came in with one left of my Poppy Deco stickers, but they're actively being restocked. I think they're on their way to me. And same with my Periwinkle decos. I already sold the last Black Cat deco that I had. What are you doing? There you are. I sold that on Friday and I didn't even get to like document that, but everything's selling pretty well. People love the tiny vinyl stickers, which I'm pleased with. This is going to be the second time I need to refresh the stock on the mushroom log, but they're doing pretty okay. Keychains are doing, I think I've only sold the one. Like I had my Nuna Frog go yesterday, and I don't plan to restock the keychains. So once they're gone, they're gone. And pins are doing okay. And this is the last Periwinkle plush. I talked about this yesterday. I don't know if I'm going to restock him because I have to, here we go. I have to order 250 of them and it's expensive, so we'll see. So anyway, they're about to let attendees in. I think it's 10 o'clock on the nose. And it ends at 4 today, so nice, easy day. And then I get to pack down, shove everything in the suitcases and go home. But yeah, be sure to stay tuned to the end of this vlog where I talk about how the con went for me, pros and cons, and I discuss my profits and expenses. So if I don't speak to you again before then, thanks for stopping by and stay tuned for the rest. Do you mind if I get a picture of you guys with the last Periwinkle? And I have a bag to put him in too, so. Yay, thank you. I haven't decided if I'm gonna restock him yet, so I'm very glad to see him go to a good home. We just adopted the very last Periwinkle plush. Oh. And he's going to a good home. So thank you guys for taking home the very last one. It is almost 1:30 on day 3. Con ends at 4 today, so we're almost done. We're almost done for the weekend. And it is unbearably slow. So I'm glad that yesterday was a little bit better, but I don't think, even though last year we dealt with the Cheesecake Factory fire, I don't think I will make even remotely close to what I made last year, which is a huge bummer. There are attendees in here, but it just feels bleak a little bit. I don't know. I mean, if you were here, let me know if you had that same feeling, but hello. We'll see how the last couple of hours go, but yeah. If you did stop by and purchase from me, thank you so much. I appreciate it because we are inundated with vet bills right now. So all of your support is going to go towards Olive's eye removal and everything that came with it. So thank you so much. If you don't mind, I can take a picture for my inventory.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Can I take a business card at it?
Trade you.
Appreciate it. And here is your card.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
We have a little less than 30 minutes left for the final day of Sakura Con, and my battery is dying on my camera, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. Be sure to tune in for the rest of the video where I talk about how the con went, pros and cons, and my profits and expenses. And again, if you stop by to support us, thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the rest of the video. Bye-bye!
All right, I'm home and it is actually June now. It is no longer April. Second year of Sakura Con done. That whole hellish timeline of my life done. So let's talk about the overview, how the convention went for me, some pros and cons that I felt were, I don't know, relevant to the experience that I had, and as well as talk about my profits versus expenses. I did get confused at the beginning. Sakura Con was held April 3rd through the 5th, 2026 in Seattle, Washington. The Artist Alley is located in the Arch Building on Pike Street, and that is actually in a whole separate location from the exhibitor hall, which is several blocks away. And Sakura Con does not sell individual tickets or like day passes for the event. You buy basically what's called a membership, and that grants you access to the full weekend or nothing at all. And typically when those tickets go on sale, it's usually shortly after the event has just ended, and they tend to vary in price depending on which time of the year you buy them. So here's a reference of what the ticket costs look like right now for registering to attend 2027 Sakura Con. And just for clarity, if you watched last year's Sakura Con vlog, I did not get to leave the Artist Alley this year. I did not get to visit the exhibitor hall, so everything that I am expressing my opinion on in this video is only based on what I witnessed in the Artist Alley itself. So in Lay Spirit stats, I have my handy dandy inventory spreadsheet here. Maybe someday I will have a better way of doing this. But we sold 347 products at this show, which was over 100, almost 150 products down from last year. Our most popular items were die-cut stickers. We sold 97 of those. And our least popular item were our acrylic keychains. We only sold 2. Our most popular individual item was the pulls for our Gotcha mushroom log. We did 19 pulls. And special mention of our periwinkle plush. This was the final show that I had them at. We sold the last 10 plushes at this show. Thank you to everybody who has adopted one of our precious little boys. So let's move on to some pros of this event. I had mentioned this in last year's video, but it deserves another mention that the staff at this show is really incredible. They are very communicative, both online and in person. They do a lot of announcements over the PA, which can sometimes be a little too much. And they have staff who come around to check in on their vendors, which is super great because I was by myself and I was able to have a staff at my booth if I need to go use the restroom or anything. And I wasn't worried about anybody messing with my products. Probably the most notable pro of this event is that there was no Cheesecake Factory fire this year because there was no Cheesecake Factory to hurt us. Other than that, everybody in Seattle is so freaking nice. Everybody was amazing and made me feel so welcomed, even though I had just had probably the worst week of my life right before this, if you go check out my last vlog. And I had a really, really wonderful time just talking to everybody and getting to make some new friends. Now for some cons. I would also like to preface that everything basically that I'm talking about in this con section for this particular event really is not even a reflection of Sakura Con as much as it is a reflection of the state of the world at the moment. So these are just my general gripes about how this particular event went for me, but don't use these as a reference point for researching whether or not you should do Sakura Con for yourself. Just FYI. So one con may be for you. Is that they are famous for the strict height limit at Sakura Con in the Artist Alley. You can only build your display 4 feet off of the top of the table. And while that may be something that some artists struggle with, it actually worked out really well for me because I didn't need to ask for help to undo my closed curtain or put my lights up. One thing I noticed is that attendance was super lacking this year. Really super lacking. I was in a really general spot to where I was last year, and I could see the doors and the crowds gathered to come in. Last year, there was almost nobody waiting any of the days to get into the show this year. And, it was exciting. I even set up positions to capture the crowds flooding in from my booth, and it was 3 people. So that was, again, out of control for the most part that I know of. Generally just a sign of the times. Which kind of bleeds into my next thing that I wrote down here is that it is just kind of a really bad time economically. But I think things were specifically bad at this event because the war in Iran had literally just started maybe a day or so before. No, it was days. It was maybe a week at this point. I don't remember. This period of my life was so foggy. But yeah, globally things are chaotic and the economy is not great. So it was just a really rough weekend. I noticed a lot of window shopping, so people, at least in this area, because it is a major city, were just casually shopping and not really spending their money. Fully understandable. And that being said, our sales were down about 50% from last year, which was super frustrating after all of the work that I did to prep for this and get out there, and I wasn't even sure if I wanted to do it because of everything that was going on. So a little bit of a bummer on that, but again, there's no way anybody could have predicted any of these circumstances. And that brings me to talking about profits versus expenses. Now, I will show you the full expenses receipt of everything that I spent to be at this show in full dollar amounts, but I'm going to show you a pie chart of the profits in percentages. If you want to see those profits in real dollar amounts, check out my Patreon for $5 or more, or my YouTube memberships at the $2.99 level, and you'll get to see all of those things, as well as any of the other Artist Alley vlogs that I've done in the past. Here is my expense receipt. That was a lot of money to spend in a month just to be at this show, especially when all of the stuff that had just happened in our personal life that I talked about in the last vlog happened. I spent $500 on a 8-foot booth with a height limit, just over $500 for my round trip flight from Fresno, $100 on Ubers, which would have been to and from the airport. And both of those were shared Ubers, by the way. I spent just under $150 on food for the weekend for myself, an additional $160 for checking my baggage, because that's just how the world works. And I got a pretty sweet deal sharing a hotel room with a friend at $334. So that is everything I spent to be at this show. Now here's the pie chart. So obviously, like usual, very, very card heavy, followed by cash, followed by like 2 Venmo transactions. Again, if you want to see all of these in more detail, check out my Patreon or my YouTube members. I might be 1 or 2 conventions behind, so bear with me, but you'll get notified when I do post about them. So in conclusion, it's a little bit difficult for me to really remember all of the specific details and ways that I was feeling about this event, since it happened so many months ago, and so many things happened since then that like made that whole time period really muddy for me. But I did remember leaving this event with a big shift in perspective of how I need to operate my business if I'm going to survive the next, I don't know, handful of years, at least the rest of this year. For one, I pretty much made the decision on the flight home that if I'm going to survive this current economy, I have to bring fan merch back. If people are gonna spend money, they're gonna do it on things that they're familiar with and not really take the chance on like just original characters that they're not, you know, emotionally attached to. I have implemented that since I was at this event, and I'm slowly bringing back some, pretty much just to get me through until I can survive on my own original characters exclusively again. And I'll make a whole separate video talking about that decision, because a lot of people have asked me in the last couple of years about my perspective and opinions on selling fan merch versus selling original art. So I'll probably do that in the next month or 2. And in a similar vein, while I am really proud of myself for branching out and starting to travel more outside of California to do events, especially by myself, I feel like this is the worst year I could have picked to do it. I did hear from a lot of other artists that did well last year, even during the Cheesecake Factory fire, that they were really down quite a bit this year, but that even last year, as lucrative as it was kind of an outlier because previous years were not that good. So I really don't know about Sakura Con, because I feel like I've had 2 starkly different experiences from one year to another, and I guess I just need to do more Sakura Cons for science. So we'll see if I can get back in for next year. I'll certainly apply again. But yeah. Anyway, I am still catching up on all of my videos from the spring, so I will leave you guys here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! And that's why